Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I was born in 1994 and in this real estate development since 1996. And what seems to be the case is that we each had our conception of social safety, and there was a good and the bad. That when the city was incorporated, that's when the fight began. And you can say, well, it was incorporated in 2000, and you can say that there are people today, and it's taken up until 2026, in which they want to start to prosecute. In other words, they're using that against us. So what I mean by that is that when this real estate development was first built in the 2000 and incorporated, so from 96 and then incorporated in the 2000, the real estate development contractors all were in accordance as to the social safety program. And from there, after the 2000s, it was as a trap, not necessarily a trap, but not necessarily an experiment, but we were expecting that to happen. We were expecting something big like September 11th. So the question is this: when do we have to move? And that is when they start prosecuting the wrong way, when they start turning that conception of social safety against the original people that built it, that established it. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, see, and at first that was always the case. It was always the case of like a bully and a subordinate, right? But it shouldn't be like that. Like I said, United States information should be revered but not feared. Once that information is feared, that's how you know that's the opposition. That's using the same tools against us. So it's important to note that when they win, that means that they have lawfare and warfare advantages over us. So that means that they have already prosecuted most of the people that do not know how to explain themselves. And that, ladies and gentlemen, you're witnessing is human slavery, and the fact that they're caught up in all these distractions and not able to articulate what they're doing with their life. And therefore you have white guilt and all these other psychological problems going on that it results in people losing compassion. So that's why whenever, like, it's almost, we're seeing how rare it is to have a city that can document it, or like somebody that can document it, right? So even if I don't survive, at least it is known like what happened. So this would be the point when like new real estate developments are supposed to be built. But that's the thing. If you do that, you're only repeating the cycle. If these people are still watching how you're rebuilding, they're watching how you're picking yourself up, they're going to know how to destroy the next city that you're in. And it's almost like it's been like that for a long time. And it's destroying the planet. It's destroying the ecosystems and the cohesiveness of families and communities. So they try to say that it's not because they're still talking, but at the same time, like, at what point do people understand that they're living off of the backs of hardworking individuals that don't work hard just to work hard, but we work hard for a genuine education? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is something that they don't want to see. Like, we give it to them and they don't want that. They want something else. They want something tangible. And that, it never starts there. It never starts from material. And that's where they have failed to see. And because the city is incorporated, they're doing everything they can with the material that we work to build to turn that against us. So we have to know when to call it quits and when to move, you know? And what does it mean by moving? That's the question, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody moves differently. But we all have a common denominator. And hopefully this YouTube channel can help you guys figure that out. So thank you for listening.